A story that went under the radar last week. I think it deserves some light. I'm a nerd for TV ratings. I love following Nielsen TV ratings, see who's watching what. It really interests me. Always has. And the national championship TV ratings came out last week. Miami and Indiana averaged 30.1 million viewers on ESPN. It's the most watched national championship in 10 years. And if you're wondering why this is extremely significant, the last time outside of the NFL, any sports league in America has reached 30 million viewers in a game. The NBA, it was 2016 Game 7, Warriors-Cavaliers. The NBA has only reached 30 million viewers one time since Michael Jordan retired. One time. The MLB, Game 7, Cubs-Indians, 2016. The NHL has never done it. College basketball hasn't done it since 1994. 3 takeaways here. 1, the Indiana fan base, way bigger than I expected. Yeah, they had the most losses in the FBS historically, and they really haven't been anything as to a championship contender for their entire history. You give that fan base something to cheer about. You see the way they invaded Atlanta, the way they invaded Miami's home turf in that national championship game. This fan base, not only did the team earn some respect, Curt Cignetti, but Indiana's fan base earned a lot of respect from me as well as people across the country. Second takeaway, college football is clearly by far and away the second most popular American sport. If you go back 10 years ago, 2015, the NBA is averaging about 20 million in the NBA finals. The MLB's a little around that. Alabama Clemson was at 24-25. College basketball, 28 million people watched Duke and Wisconsin. So college basketball actually beat college football in that 10 years ago, which is incredibly interesting. Now you look 10 years later. College football has clearly separated itself from all of those other sports. The NBA averaged just 10 million viewers for the finals. MLB at 15 million. College basketball got 19 million for Florida and Houston. So, the third takeaway. This is the number one thing I want to talk about because this is the most interesting. The ceiling for college football in terms of its national popularity in America is way higher than any of us ever thought. And these national championship ratings are a huge reason for that. So you look at the NBA 2016 NBA Finals. The last time the NBA reached 30 million viewers, it was the perfect storm. You had LeBron going up against the Warriors in Game 7. The last time the MLB reached 30 million viewers, it was the perfect storm. You had the Cubs' 108-year World Series drought. And with what happened with Steve Bartman and a bunch of other heartbreaks, that was a crazy story. The Indians had a 68-year drought as well. The national championship of college football was on a random Monday, 7.5 weeks after the regular season ended, 10 days after the college football playoff semifinals. Imagine if this game was on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve at the Rose Bowl every stinking year. Imagine the viewership that would get. And I told you, LeBron, Golden State Warriors, Chicago Cubs. Indiana's not necessarily known as a national college football brand either. It was a story that people fell in love with, and Miami definitely is known as that, but Indiana's not known as that. And you still got 30.1 million viewers. So just imagine as well, too. I just mentioned moving the championship game. That number would be higher. But imagine if college football had a coherent calendar and an efficient governing body. Like I look at the NFL, and I'm a college sports guy, hence I am the college sports guy. But I look at it and I say, dang it, man, that is an efficient Fortune 500 company of a corporation right there. They emphasize productivity and efficiency so stinking well. And then I look over at college football's governing body and I see them picking their noses and wiping their boogers in the fans' faces on a constant basis, do they even know what they're doing? Who even is the governing body? And it kind of pisses me off. Not going to lie. I get a little envious at how efficiently the NFL moves, because I think college football can have that. But guys, here's the thing. This $30 million is, I believe, something to be celebrated in college football. It doesn't signify that college football as a whole is healthier than it was 10 years ago, but it does show that the fan bases are more engaged than they were 10 years ago, which is something that the NBA can't say, the MLB can't say, college basketball can't say, the NHL cannot say. College football can. But it's not just the national championship. Like, I was looking at some games here, top-rated games, okay? Tennessee, Georgia, week 3. Kind of a very good regular season game, okay? Had 12.9 million viewers. That's more than the NBA Finals average viewership per game from 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, and 2020. Every year since COVID. Ohio State, Texas, week 1 had 16.6 million viewers. That's more than any NBA game since COVID. That's more than the average MLB World Series game since COVID. And again, imagine if we had a college football playoff committee who actually took strength of schedule as seriously as they should, and instead of getting Ohio State scheduling Akron or Alabama scheduling the Mississippi School of the Blind, okay, you get maybe Oklahoma, Nebraska play again, or Oklahoma, Oklahoma State. Maybe USC and Notre Dame are here to stay instead of them weaseling out of that history. Maybe USC and Texas start making that 2006 Rose Bowl a yearly tradition. Heck, maybe Texas Tech and Texas come back. Think about that. College football hasn't even come close to reaching its peak yet, because with all of this stuff going on, with the national championship on a random Monday in January, 30.1 million viewers still happened. It was the perfect storm for the NBA or the MLB to hit that total. Like, just imagine if college football got their ducks in a row, like the NFL, what the sport could be. And here's another stat for you. The NBA averaged 2 million viewers, 2.0 million across NBC, ABC, and Amazon Prime Video. College Game Day this year averaged 2.6 million viewers. The reason why I'm bringing these stats up to you is because 10 years ago, it was the NFL, undoubted number one, and then a gap, and you've got college football, the NBA, the MLB, and college basketball kind of in its own tier 2. 10 years later, you've got the NFL, you've got college football, and you've got everyone else. The sport is growing right now at a very high rate, and the crazy thing is, we haven't even come close to reaching the peak of college football yet.